Hey guys, it is Coach B. Wiley here. I hope your day is going well. If you just stumbled upon my channel, I am Coach B. Wiley. I do content all about dating, relationship, and communication, meaning I offer dating insight and advice. I can teach you how to stop dead in dating. I talk all about the different relationship issues people may have, and I offer my insight on how to communicate more effectively in all of your relationships. I also have a segment, which I'm doing today, called Ask B. Wiley, where you DM me your questions, you email me your questions, you write me on Cura.com or any kind of way that you can get to me. You ask me your direct personal dating and relationship questions, and I give you my advice. So today, well, first of all, before I get into the video, if you like content like that, feel free to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I'd be glad to have you as a viewer. So today's question, which is interesting, I read it right before I came on here. It says, why are people always busy and have no time for relationships? That's the first question. Will anyone not be direct, but will they ever have or make time? So this person here, usually I can tell if it's whether a woman or man, but I can't, and they don't have a picture, and their name just isn't related to either or. So let's break this down. The first question: why are people always busy and have no time for relationships? The direct answer to this. Speaking of direct, if you watch any of my Ask Me Wileys, I'm typically cut and dry. I get direct. However, if you want me to break that question, I'll break the question and my response down even further. Let me know. I will be glad to do that. I will be glad to give you longer answers versus straight, cutthroat, to the point. All right. So the reason why people, this is my opinion because I've been in this situation before. Have you ever met someone who's just like, oh, I like you, but I'm so busy. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. It's BS. No one is ever too busy. I always use Barack Obama as an example. President Barack Obama was president for 8 years. However, he found time to have dinner with his wife and his family, I believe, majority of the time as he was a president, and still now, I'm sure. So unless you're like flying outer space and every other day, then there's no reason for anyone to be too busy to get to know you, to sit on the phone with you, to have a conversation, to shoot you a text that takes 2 seconds, and to genuinely create space. So people are not busy. It's just they're unwilling to create space and or time to add you into their life. Like I said before, I've said this before in a previous video. A friend of mine told me years ago that a person, romantically speaking, that comes into your life is supposed to naturally weave into your life with ease. So if you feel like you have to force them, if you feel like every time you want to go for dinner, for lunch, for a walk to the park, that they're busy, that is a clear, sure sign that they have no interest in you whatsoever. Now, I know some people are watching this like, oh, well, he has 3 jobs and he has 2 kids and he has a dog and then he has to go and take care of his mother because she's sick. So if we don't see each other but once a month, maybe I shouldn't cut him off. No, sis. I don't care what that man got going on. He could literally be saving people out of burning buildings every hour on the hour. He will create space after he saves that person out of that burning building to shoot you a text, give you a FaceTime call, do something. Okay? Because that's what men do. Also, what guys do is create busy excuses. I had a guy do it to me years ago. He said he was busy, busy, busy. I thought that he was the president of the United States because he was so dang busy, but he wasn't. He just wasn't that into me. And that is okay. If someone is giving you that answer, they're not into you. Fellas, I'd like for you to stop using that busy excuse, but I know it can be uncomfortable to tell someone that you're just not into them like that they are into you. So what you'll do is you'll avoid, you'll say you're busy, and you'll ghost. I get that. However, there's a more direct way to be about it. Be direct. Learn how to mature and just let the woman know, hey, I appreciate you and your interest in me. However, let's just be friends. And if they're an adult with a brain in their head and they're mature, they'll be like, you know what? Thank you for telling me that. We can be just friends. So move on to the next one. So no, people are not always busy and people do have time for relationships. They're just BSing you. All right, so the second part is, will anyone not be direct? Didn't I just say be direct? But will they ever have or make time? Most people these days are indirect. And the thing is, always pay attention to their actions. If their actions are directly showing you that they ain't got time for you and they ain't trying to make time for you, listen with that. That's a direct sign that they don't want you, they're not interested, they're good. And so instead of always wanting someone to tell you something in a direct way, which I just said for you fellas, I really wish you would start doing that. However, I do understand as a woman that all women cannot receive direct. And I just did a video last week about that, about being direct, but then the woman can't receive it. So I get it. I get it. The right thing to do is be direct. However, a person's actions, it always comes back to their actions, are always going to tell you how they feel and how they don't feel. So what do you think about this, guys? Have you ever given a woman an excuse, the I'm too busy excuse? Have you ever said that to someone? And how did they react? What was your plan? What ended up happening? Because typically when someone tells you they're too busy and they're unwilling to make time or create space for you in their life, they're going to continue to be distant. They're going to be busy, then start to be distant, then kind of fade off into the background and eventually ghost you. That's just typically how it goes. So maybe I should do a video on that. How do I know when he's not interested? And I'll give you the steps of how you'll know. And this goes with friendships too. If your friend is not creating space, I've experienced this too. A friend not creating space to hang out with me when I'm saying, hey, let's go here, let's go there. And I had to just come to the conclusion that they don't want to hang out with me. And if you get this person that doesn't want to create time for you and you like them and they just aren't interested, doesn't mean you beat yourself up about it. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It just means they aren't the person to be with you in your life, and that is okay. And once you get your self-worth up, respect, and love yourself enough to know, you'll be mature to receive that. Because I had to learn how to mature myself in order to understand that I'm not for everybody. And if someone doesn't like me, then okay, they just don't like me, and we just go on. And now I've gotten to the point, if someone doesn't reciprocate whatever it is I'm giving, then it's okay. I can move right along. Practice makes perfect. Get in this mindset, lastly, that when you're out here dating and you're getting to know people and things may not be going the way you want them to go, that doesn't mean that everybody's like that. You want to use these opportunities to pay attention, to learn how to read people, pay attention to their actions, and know how to practice to act accordingly and move effectively versus dragging your feet, waiting, asking, begging them for their time that they're not volunteering to give you. All right, guys, it's B. Wiley. This was Ask B. Wiley. I do these a few times a week. If you want to ask me a question, feel free. Email me, inbox me, DM me. I'm on social media, Coach B. Wiley, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, of course, here. I'd be glad to answer your question anonymously. Outside of that, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.